Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back to our podcast. Today is a great day. We're going to have a conversation, special conversations, and this podcast is also published in our YouTube channel, Euro Management channel. Today is a great day because we have an interesting topic we're going to discuss with our special guest. We're going to talk about life and educational experience, specifically for being an international student. Okay, without further ado, let's get started. Hi, Lina.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm good. So, sudah berapa lama kamu tinggal di Indonesia?
1 bulan.
1 bulan. Bagaimana? Sudah kemana saja?
Saya sudah pergi ke Jogja dan di Puncak dan Kota 2 di Jakarta.
Oke, sudah beberapa saat saja di Indonesia, tapi sudah bahasa Indonesia sudah bagus, sudah oke tuh. Ini juga satu encouragement buat teman-teman kita nih, belajar bahasa itu bukan satu hal yang sulit sebetulnya. Well, I heard that you have visited some of the interesting places in Indonesia. Can you tell me more about that?
Yes, last weekend I went to Jogja to visit a friend. She's also studying there. So that was really nice. There we went to Dieng. And besides that, I got a lot around Jakarta.
All right. Are you enjoying the food?
Yes, a lot.
What's your favorite food?
Gado-gado.
Gado-gado. So gado-gado. She likes gado-gado. All right, Lina. So are you students or do you work now?
I'm still studying. I'm right now in my 4th year of my bachelor's degree, but right now I'm doing my internship.
Internship. Where do you intern?
I'm here at Euro Management Indonesia.
Okay, so what's your role? What do you do?
Half a day I work at the language department. There I help teaching German. The other half of the day I'm at the admission department.
Alright, dia lagi magang nih di Euro Management Indonesia. How do you deal with people, with your college and Euro Management in terms of communication or teamwork?
Sometimes the communication is quite hard because my Indonesian is not very good yet, but in the language department I'm lucky to have my colleagues who speak also German, and also most people here speak English.
Okay, did you say that you go to a college in other countries?
Yes, I'm studying right now in the Netherlands. In Rotterdam.
That's interesting. She's studying in Netherlands, while actually she's German. Orang Jerman tapi belajarnya di Netherlands. So she's an international student. We're going to have some discussion about that. So can you tell me about your academic learning while you're in Netherlands?
Yes, in the beginning it was quite hard because most of the students spoke always Dutch because they're not used to speaking English, even though their English is quite good. So it was really hard to get to know them and to have like conversations because I always didn't feel included. But it got better with the time, and now people got more used to English and I'm more included, and I have also Dutch friends.
All right, so even English as international language, but it's not easy to use English among the international students.
Yes, I also have the same experience in Germany. Since it's a big country, most old people don't need to speak English, so they're just speaking German. And for my generation, most people had German and English in school, and they can speak English, but they're not confident to speak English.
Not confident. It's also, I think it's a good lesson for us who want to study abroad, because using English needs a practice. So you need to practice before that to communicate with other people. Because in case of in German, orang Jerman lebih suka bicara dengan bahasa Jerman, meskipun dia berada di international universities. All right, so do you think it's easy to make friends in Netherlands while you're studying there?
In the beginning, it was really hard because, from my experience, everyone has still their friends from high school. or like even primary school, and they're just staying friends, and they're not really interested to make new friends. Of course, you're friendly in university, but it's hard to get them to hang out with you after.
All right.
So it took like lots of convincing and like always asking them again, yeah, you want to go there, and there. And by now I have many Dutch friends, but it took a while.
So you need to do big effort to do it, to socialize with other people. So do you think it's important to mingle to them, to know more about them? While some students just think about their study, is it important also to socialize yourself?
Yes, it is very important, because you will be in a new country and it will be really hard in the beginning. You'll probably are very homesick and it will be in a different language, so you will feel like really overwhelmed with your studies. It really takes time to get used to, so it's really important to have friends and a social life, to feel comfortable around the people.
Okay, are you kind of person who like to stay out inside or socialize with people?
I like really to socialize. Also, if I stayed at home, I was living in a shared living space. Everyone had their separate rooms, but in total in the house we were 10 people, so there was always someone around. We always watched movies together and socialized.
Okay, so it's interesting, I think ya, untuk tetap mencoba bersosialisasi kalau menjadi international students. That will make us easier to study with others, because we have a group work, we have a teamwork. That's really important. All right, so well, culture shock is a common thing that people experience when they have moved from one country to another. So have you experienced homesick, and how do you anticipate that situation?
Yes, I felt homesick quite a lot when I first moved to the Netherlands, and also now when I moved here to Indonesia. I think it's important to call with your parents or family or friends or whoever you miss and talk to them regularly. And I also had the feeling a lot of times that I just want to break up and go back to Germany. But my mom always said, just 1 year, and if you still don't like it, then you can come home. And that really helped to just stick with it, because things got better. And it took a while, and the first months were really hard. But at one point you will get used to the culture, you will make friends. You know where nice places are, you can go, where you can get food from your culture. So at one point you will feel like more like home.
So you believe that communication with family is important, and also parents would give some kind of encouragement for their children when they're far away. Okay, right. Another topic that is also interesting and very crucial for most of our students is that this is interesting, I think, about financial difficulties. How about that, Lina? Have you experienced that, and then how students should manage these difficulties?
I think like for students it's really common to not have a lot of money. So first of all, it's good to know how much money you can spend on different things like food, or if like the electricity is included in the bill or not. So it's important to keep your eye on that. With food, there are always cheaper options, and you at one point you will find out where you can buy the cheap food and what you can spend, but also it's really important to always keep an eye on your finances. And depending on what you like to do, it's maybe a good idea to write down what you spend, where you can save some money, and not to buy so many like luxury articles.
What's the most expenditure for student accommodation, food, or leisure, something like that?
For sure, accommodation, especially in Germany and the Netherlands, housing is really expensive, and it's also getting really hard to find housing. And because now of the war with the Ukraine, also electricity is expensive. So it's really important to keep an eye on that and not to be shocked by a big bill at the end of the year that you can't pay. So if it's good if all the bills are included, and if not, you really should take an eye on how much electricity you use to save some electricity if possible.
Alright. That's the importance of managing your financial. Jadi penting sekali buat teman-teman kita ya, manage keuangan tuh, karena pengeluarannya macam-macam. Sometimes kita mengeluarkan uang itu bukan kepada hal-hal yang esensial, bukan kepada untuk keperluan studi atau untuk keperluan buku dan lain-lain, tapi kepada misalkan entertain gitu ya, juga jalan-jalan, pergi kemana-mana, itu harus betul-betul di-manage. Tadi Lina bilang harus ditulis, to take note the expenses so you can manage better in the future, in the next semester could be. Okay, I want to know what your dream career is.
So after my bachelor study, I want to do my master's and then work for a couple of years. I don't know really in which direction I want to go yet, but like my end goal of life is to open my own cafe.
Oh, that's good. She wants to make her own business. Okay, so that's your goals, right? Okay, and then do you want to work with the same field with your subject in the future?
Yes, since my study is really broad, I learn everything from finance to economics to marketing, but also language and culture. So it's like really broad, and I really have to see in which direction I want to go and where I want to do my master's in. So I'm really not sure in which direction or which field of economics I want to work in.
You haven't decided yet.
No.
Okay. Any skills that you are developing now instead of just studying your major?
Yes, I learned a lot about intercultural competences and how important it is about communication, especially from people from different cultural backgrounds. And also how different it is to do business in different countries.
Well, that's interesting. Experiencing the diverse cultures, right? Yes. So also in Netherlands, we'll find diversity with different ethnic groups, different language even. So what is actually most difficult problem faced by international students in your experience in Netherlands?
I think the most difficulties is the language barrier, because if you study in the Netherlands or in Germany, it won't be your mother tongue, and it takes a lot of courage to always talk and get used to the language, and it's okay to make mistakes, but it's important to really try and talk in the foreign language.
It's really important to try and talk. So for you guys, jangan takut membuat mistakes gitu, kesalahan dalam language, because everybody makes mistake. Harus berani, harus confidence to speak up ketika kita berada di international class, karena nanti berpengaruh ketika proses belajar, berdiskusi dan lain-lain, itu sangat penting saya pikir. So what would you suggest for academic learning? Because I heard that some students or even many students experience hard time to manage their time while they're studying.
Yes, I think it's very important to always stay up to date with what you have to do, because at the end of like a term there will be lots of exams or papers you have to hand in. So it's important to have like a list, even if it's like written out or in your mind, to know what you have to do when the deadlines are and when to start.
Okay.
Like I think in like during the time you know how much time you need, for example, for paper or for studying. So you will learn how to manage your time wisely, but it's always important to continually learn about things.
Okay. Do you think it's also important to take part in some school activities, like extracurricular activities?
Yes, I think it's important to see what the university has to offer, if there's like a student association or just to hang out with your friends besides school, because it makes the experience of life nicer and more easy for you to live in a different country.
Okay, that's a good balance. I think harus seimbang tuh antara ex-school dengan kegiatan inti sekolah. So we had to put balance between you want to play hard, you want to study hard, right? So it's important to manage your time, especially if you are in in a foreign university, because we have different pace, right?
Yes.
Do you think that what's the difference Indonesian characteristics systems if you compare to Netherlands, for example?
I think here everything is going a bit slower and more breaks. And I think in the Netherlands or in Germany, things can get really fast and you have lots of content. So it's really important to also not to get discouraged if things are not working out in the beginning or you get a bad grade. Firstly, it will get better. And secondly, at the end of the day, people don't really look at your grade, especially not from the first years.
Ada gap, ada perbedaan yang cukup besar ya, terutama dari kecepatan belajar, kecepatan mengerjakan tugas. Itu yang harus diantisipasi oleh students kita terutama nih. Alright, Lina, there are a lot of students, Indonesian students, who wants to continue their study abroad. So, what's your advice for freshmen especially?
Try to mingle with the people there. Try to make friends and to not get discouraged about that it might be harder. But also to always try and don't give up. Even if it's hard or you're homesick, things will get better eventually.
Alright, okay, so suggestions from Lina tadi bilang sosialisasi itu penting ya, bukan hanya fokus pada major, pada kuliahnya, tapi ternyata mingle with other people to know other different culture, itu yang sangat penting. Jadi buat teman-teman yang mau lanjutkan kuliah ke luar negeri, kalian mau jadi freshman, mau jadi mahasiswa semester 1, mungkin bisa didengarkan dari Lina bahwa ada hal-hal penting di luar dari major, itu masalah sosialisasi dan communications ya, Lina ya.
Yeah.
Alright. Okay guys, thank you so much. That's our discussions with Lina. It's a great sharing, I think, which you can follow. It's also good advice for you guys who want to study abroad. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again in our next video. Bye now.